morning, Joy family. Welcome to the Joyful House on this beautiful Monday morning. It is January the 12th, 2026, and welcome to my playground and welcome to a brand new week. And if you are joining me for the first time this year, Happy New Year. Okay, I am so ready to get this playground started for this week. I am excited to look forward to this week and all that it has to offer me. I don't know what is to come, but I am in it. I am in it to live it and enjoy it. And I hope that you will join me in just celebrating breath and life. Well, before we get started and jump into all of our playground activities, something I like to do here in the Joyful House is always invite you to leave the Joy House with a little bit more joy than what you came in with. So to get us started this morning, first, before we celebrate our joy and do a little joy dance, I want to offer you a moment to just stop and hug yourself. We need to hug ourselves daily. We are no good to no one if we are not taking care of ourselves. So right now, in just a few moments, I'm going to ask you to hug yourself and do a little hug dance. And then we're going to jump right into our joy dance and celebrate all that we have, all that we don't have. And even in the midst of all of our storms, we're going to find the joy and celebrate, because if nothing more, we are here together, and together we are stronger. And then after that, we don't have any birthdays to celebrate this week unless you've got one and you didn't tell me. So let me know and we'll celebrate it. But if your birthday is not this week and you do not think I have it, please let me know either in a comment below or send me an email so we can celebrate your special day with you all week long. And then after that, we're going to go in and we're going to welcome our new Joy family. That is someone who has come over to the Joyful House and joins us here on the channel. And then after that, we have some new Joy team members. Those are those that level up their support and help the channel with a monthly contribution. And some of those folks are celebrating anniversaries. So we're going to celebrate them as well. So if you're ready, let's get ready to hug ourselves, celebrate with some joy, and then welcome in our new Joy family, new Joy team members, and celebrate those who are being recognized for wonderful milestones. All right, I'll see you back here in a minute. welcome back. I hope that you are feeling the love, the hug, the hugs around the neck, and joy after all of that. Thank you for helping me celebrate our New Joy family, our New Joy team members, and some milestones for those that were celebrating their anniversaries. Kim with her 1 year, Kate and Todd, Mr. Joyful, with their 2 year. Now, a couple little updates. So last Monday, I talked about that January the 11th is Bridget from Queen's Crafts by Bridget's birthday, and she was having a birthday bash celebration. I've come to learn that that is actually tonight, not yesterday, but tonight. Her birthday was yesterday, but her birthday bash is tonight. So if you will, head on over to her house at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and join in on that fun. All right, the other thing that I want to make sure that you are aware of is always go and check my community post. I have so many things that I put there to communicate with you as a Joy family. And one of those things is always making sure that I update what is going on the channel. And I apologize, I'm trying to mute my phone. What's going on here in the Joyful House every week and every weekend. There is a post that lists what goes on Monday through Thursday, and then there's another one that comes out on Friday mornings that talks about what is happening on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. So definitely check those out so you don't miss anything. If it is a video or a live, then a link will be given to you that you can just click on and go straight to it. But if it is something in my Zoom room, then you do have to email me to get that Zoom link. Okay, I think that's all of our business for the moment. A lot of fun, exciting things happening this week. The tea party is coming back, and don't forget we will be spinning that giveaway wheel for November and December's winners, and then movie night is happening again, starting back this week as well. So a lot of fun things that we normally do are coming back this week. Everything is in full swing this week. It is so good to be 100% back here in the Joyful House and on the channel with you. So hope you'll check out the agenda on the community post and come spend some time with us. Okay, what happened in the Joyful House last week? Well, most of the time I spent my time trying to design the baby Joy sweater. In December, I spent about 5 days, and at that time, I had probably frogged the sweater about 11 times and still could not master a pattern for the baby Joy sweater. So this past week, I spent a good bit of time on it. It's supposed to be my Crafts of the Heart project, but I'm just going to be honest with you. I kept at it, and in the end, I frogged it another 7 times. So I have frogged this sweater 18 times. I have probably invested well over probably 120 hours at the moment on this, and don't judge me. I know some of you, you've got a great creative flow and things probably just come to you, but not only is this something that is really near and dear to my heart because it is the Joy sweater, regardless of the size, whether it's adult or newborn and children, I want to make sure I get it right. And I have created a Joy stitch that I've not yet released, but it will be coming out sometime later this year, so stay tuned for that. Got to master the pattern first before I can introduce the stitch. But nonetheless, I think I finally got it. And so I am going to show you what I have at the moment. I have it completed for 0 to 3 months, and except for the sleeves and weaving in all of my ends. I'm going to tuck in as many as I can, but it's coming along. And so you're going to get a little sneak peek at it. I still got a lot of tails to weave in. Tried to tuck as many of those in as I could so they wouldn't be a distraction. but it is coming along and I am loving it. So might have a few little more things to tweak out and whatnot, but once I get this one done, I will try it at a different size, probably a little bit of a bigger toddler size, but nonetheless, I love how it's coming out. And if you didn't get to see the completed adult version that I made for Mr. Joyful and for his mom, same pattern, just two different styles of it by changing up the color pattern. Definitely go back and check last week's Craft of the Heart video. It went out on Saturday, and you can see both of those completed sweaters there. And so since I've been spending so much time working on this one, I am more than likely going to get it done. And so for the Craft of the Heart project going forward, I am going to go ahead and start my sweater. And I'm also going to throw in working on a little bit bigger size kiddo's sweater. So that will be 1 hour mine and 1 hour the kiddo sweater. As I not only create one for myself to match Mr. Joyful, aka Todd, but as I'm also making sure that those pattern numbers are coming out accurately as they need to for the appropriate sizes so that I can get that pattern released. I'm going to pause this for just a second because I am going to show you an attempt of the sweater back in December when I was working on it, on one that I did not frog. It was the very last version before I just had to take a break and walk away because also I got sick. But nonetheless, let me go grab that so I can show it to you. Okay, this is it. And you can see why I am not happy with it. It buckles quite a bit there in the center. It's just not where it needs to be at all. And so I am probably going to frog this. In fact, I haven't even 100% finished the back of the waistband. I stopped because I knew I wasn't satisfied. So I will eventually frog this and reuse the yarn and maybe create another one. But it is a gorgeous, gorgeous stitch, the joy stitch. I had someone say it looks a lot like a slanted puff stitch, and I can see where they would think that, but it is not a slanted puff stitch. But in due time, I will be sharing all of that. But first, I do have to finish mastering the pattern, and I'm very, very hopeful that that will be very, very soon. Okay. Let's see. So that's the good bit of what I was working on here in the Joyful House. Plus, we started our mystery make-along with the Joy team last week. So that was exciting. Plus, that was on Monday. We meet at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come join us tonight. And then on Tuesday, we started Joyful Creations with the Joy team. We will be making a blanket all year long and finishing it up just before Christmas. And it is a blanket that I have designed, so I'm very proud of it. And it is called the Harvest Friendship Blanket. So worked on that as well. And I think that's all the projects I've been working on. I am trying to get a full version of the Harvest Friendship Blanket done. So I am continuing to work on that. I can show you what I have to date on that. But this is what it is starting to look like. And I am very, very, very proud of this. Really wanted to have more done. You can see where I've got to weave in some ends. But that is okay. Anyway, but again, I was sick for almost 3 weeks at the end of December, all through Christmas and New Year's, but that's okay because I'm better now. But I am trying to work on that as much as I can and get it done so everyone can see what it will look like completed from the get-go. So that's pretty much what I've been really, really busy doing. I did go through and update a lot of the intros and outros of my lives and videos. So some of those you'll see some changes. As you noticed, the joy dance was a different video, like this one so much better. Would love to see and hear your feel and take on the new joy dance, but been really just kind of doing things to the channel, tweaking here and there, because as I shared, I'm not really making New Year's resolutions, but I am working towards goals that are healthy, and that is working smarter, not harder, and doing things that fulfill me and bring me joy. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't have a place in my life or my schedule. My schedule, as some people like to say. I can't ever say it that fancy way. But anyway, so I've been busy navigating and doing that. I've debated whether to share this or not, but it is something that happened behind the scenes in the Joyful House this past week. And I don't know, maybe you can relate to it. Maybe you'll find some humor in it. Anyway, Mr. Joyful and I, just before the new year began, went to the doctor and had our well checkups. And part of that checkup, the doctor really encouraged us to do a colon screening. So we agreed to do the color guard, which is the one you do at home in the privacy of your own bathroom. And so we did that last week. And we did what we needed to do, and we got it all ready and packed up and put it on the front porch steps, and they came and picked it up on Wednesday afternoon. Friday, they reached out to us to say that there was a discrepancy with one of them. And we're both like, oh, what? We did it the same. Other than the specimen obviously was not the same, but so we said, well, what's the discrepancy and who is it on? Well, it turns out there was a discrepancy on both of us. We'll start with Mr. Joyful first. The biggest discrepancy for him is he does go by his middle name of Todd and not his birth given name of Robert. And so on his chart, he is listed as Robert T. Vannerson. And so they just needed to make sure that Todd was actually Robert. And so, yes, checked, easy fix. Then they proceeded to tell us that our specimens were too large. But luckily for Todd, they would be able to use his. But unfortunately for me, I need to do it again. I am not so proud of myself on that recorded line. I was not a happy camper. The whole art of it, I get it. It's something that needs to be done. It's better to be safe than sorry, but it is not a glamorous thing, and it can be quite humiliating a little bit, but nothing more humiliating to have done it once, but to have to do it twice. So Mr. Joyful was so funny because when I let him know that they were out on the steps ready for pickup last Wednesday, he said, oh my gosh, we have Winnie and Pooh on the steps. I love this man. I love that he brings humor. And of course, he was able to calm me down. And I am awaiting for my second kit to arrive and get her done. So anyway, that's the glamorous life of behind the scenes in the Joyful House. Aren't you glad you joined in today? Anyway, it is time for our joy word for today. Our joy word for today is a word that I have chosen for 2026. I told you last week that my pastor asked us to come up with a 2026 word. And as y'all know, joy is my life word. But I did think about what could be my 2026 word, and it took a minute for it to come to me. I had all other kinds of things that I was thinking of and whatnot. But then finally one day, it just hit me, because so many times I find myself here lately over the last 4 or 5 years going through so many difficult things, especially in the department of my health. And I get so angry sometimes at God, and I am just like, why me? And of course, he comes back with, why not you? And he reminds me that he never gives me more than I can handle. He equips me, he strengthens me. He grows my faith and he stretches it. And in order to do that, I have to find myself in some uncomfortable situations in order to be stretched, in order to grow. So I'm learning, instead of grumbling and complaining, to just say, okay, to have an attitude of being honored that he chose me to go through this. And the real question is, what is the outcome supposed to look like? And what am I supposed to show as I go through it? Because I know that there are people watching, and I know that there are people going through similar things or going through tough times, and they don't have the hope and the faith that I do. So I know that God oftentimes uses those circumstances to not only grow and stretch my faith, but to allow others to see him and his mighty hands working in my life. So with all of that being said, because I know without a doubt that those hurdles are not over, that there are going to be more. And while I'm trying to have that optimistic attitude of, okay, now what? Let's do this, I know that through those hurdles and through those obstacles, good things have come. And I have no doubt that through all of it, that God has a better plan, that he is using those circumstances to move me to a place that is better for me. So my word for this year is expectant. 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 So what does expectant mean? Expectant means feeling or thinking that something good will happen. Feeling or thinking that something good will happen. If you are an expectant person, then it means that you are waiting excitedly for something. So, my friends, if things are going to come, then why not wait for them excitedly, knowing, number one, that I have specifically been chosen for that task or for that circumstance. And I know that God is going to work great things through that circumstance or through that task. So why not wait expectantly? Why not find the joy in the journey? And so let's talk a little bit more about the word expectant. So first off, is it good to be expectant all the time? Well, I think the answer is yes. I wouldn't have chose the word otherwise. Why? Because being expectant opens the door for progress in the process. Let me say that again. Being expectant opens the door for progress through the process. Isn't that awesome? All right. The word expectantly means thinking that something pleasant or exciting is going to happen. And if I am expectant, then it means that I'm excited because I think that something interesting is about to happen. Now, am I excited about doing this Cologuard test again? No. But I'm expectant that if I do it, that the test results are going to come back and show whether or not everything is great or whether I need to do something a little bit further. Do I think that, my sugars being all over the place is something that's exciting? No. But I know that with them jumping up and down, that we're working towards a goal to getting them to be in target zone. So I'm expectant that we're going to find something that works. And then I'm expectant that once I get there, that I can beat diabetes altogether. So you see how I'm taking those hurdles and those obstacles and looking for something good and positive in them. 2026 is not going to fly over me and not drop a couple little bombs. I can tell you why. Because the enemy, he doesn't like it when I get excited. He doesn't like it when I'm happy and joyful. So I know he's going to try and come and, aim them targets right directly at me and try to shoot me down. And, it's really funny because in the pastor's sermon yesterday, I wrote down a couple things that I just really want to share with you. And if you're not a biblical person, please don't go, because this is not about scripture. This is not about preaching and teaching. What I'm about to share with you is about healing. It's about being expectant for good things. It's about waiting for the good, even when the bombs hit. So please stay with me. If God had to stop the attacks that happen on us, then that means he would have to stop the impact. If I don't take this Cologuard test twice, then we'll never know, and I could have something internally going wrong. If I didn't have this sugar roller coaster, I'd still be at my job and we would be struggling to find somebody and paying a lot of money out of pocket to stay at home with Todd's mom. So if God didn't let the attacks come, then he wouldn't be able to let the impacts come. So I love that. If God had to stop the attacks, he'd have to stop the impacts. Now, I told you I am trying to quit grumbling and moaning over those bombs that drop. That means I've got to stop judging things before God is done with them. I judge them the moment they hit. But I know God, and I know and I've seen what he's already done in my life. So I got to quit judging them until he is done with them. And I love this. We can't curse what God has already blessed. When those bombs come, God already knew they were coming, and he already was in action, coming up with a plan on how to defuse those bombs and how to get us through them. He's already blessing them. So we can't curse what he has already blessed. The enemy, I already told you, he doesn't like it when I'm happy. He doesn't like it when I'm excited. He definitely doesn't like it when I'm joyful. So expectant, I'm sure he is grumbling and moaning and complaining that is the word I chose. That I'm expectant that God will do good things in every aspect of my life with every breath that I take. I know the enemy is throwing a temper tantrum. And I know that he is trying to plant seeds. But this is what I have to remember, and this is what I challenge you to remember. That no matter the seeds that the enemy plants or tries to plant or tries to whisper in my ear, remember that God got there first. And God is already cultivating those seeds. I want to grow this year in 2026. I literally want to be the best version of myself. Not only in the health department, but in the attitude department, in my relationships, just in life in general. I want to grow. But you see, the enemy is not going to stand by and let that happen because he wants to destroy everything. So I need to remind myself of a couple things. What the enemy plants is not better than what God plants. And so I need to let God be my gardener and not the enemy. And I can do this. I can do this because I am God's child, and God is going to take care of me, and he's going to do the same for you. So we can't let the attacks distract us, because if we let them distract us, then they will destroy us. So I challenge you, if expectant is not your word, you can still be expectant. But I challenge you to come up with your 2026 word. And you can use the word expectant in a sentence below for an extra entry. But I will give you another entry if you will share your word with me. What is your 2026 word? You don't have to explain why you chose it unless you want to. I'm just curious, because when we vocalize it, then that's the first step into making it happen. I'm not asking you to make New Year's resolutions. I don't do those. I don't set myself up for failure. But I can certainly get behind a word that when those things happen and those bombs hit and those hurdles come flying at me, I can be expectant that I'm not only going to get through it, but good things are going to happen. So, devil, hit me with your best shot, because everything you do has to go through the cross of Jesus. Amen? All right. Have an expectant 2026. Can't wait to see your comments. All right. Oh, so what does expectant mean in the Joyful House real quick? It means expecting good things to happen. It means being optimistic. It means hoping for something good or exciting. It means getting excited about something in the future. And let me tell you what, I'm already expectant about good things this week. My sister's coming into town. My parents are celebrating their wedding anniversary. There are a lot of great expectant things happen. And I might even get to meet up with Dawn P and her husband Joe. So, oh my gosh, I am expectant to not only have a great 2026, but I'm already expectant to have a great week. I'm feeling great. I don't have an ounce of sickness in my body at the moment. I don't need to knock on wood. I got God. It's going to be a great week, and I am expectant of that. And I cannot wait to come back and share it with you next time. All right. With that, are you ready to chase your fun this week? Let's chase our fun and see what Annie has for us this week. This week, Annie says, be an amateur in the kitchen. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, do not be too timid and squeamish about your actions. All life is an experiment. Do not be too timid and squeamish about your actions. All life is an experiment. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Annie says, it may come naturally for you to intrinsically know what seasonings to add to a soup and what vegetables go with those chicken thighs you've been roasting in the oven. If that is you, I celebrate you. Keep going. Try new recipes, try new foods, try new cuisines from new areas of the world. Why? Why does it matter? It matters because learning and growing in the area of cooking has no bottom. There's no end to how you can grow in the kitchen, and cooking is truly one of the oldest ways that communities connect. Sharing food you've made brings relationships and healing. People are cared for and provided for and loved by how you feed them. I've been working to get in the kitchen more for myself and for the people I love. There's just something about putting your hands to ingredients and turning them into something new and hopefully delicious. At first, I pulled out old cookbooks and Googled recipes, and since it was all new to me, I followed them to the letter. And it was fun. It wasn't all successful or delicious, but I stayed on budget and I saved time and I really enjoyed it. Then it went to a new level. Annie says as she began to experiment with changing up the recipes to her own taste. Would I like the soup better if the vegetables were roasted first? What if I swapped our sweet potato for white potato? Amateur tip, don't do that. I've now perfected a few soups and salads for myself that stay in a pretty constant rotation in my fridge and freezer, and in a way that I don't know how to explain to you. Just like I didn't know how to explain it to my counselor, cooking started to heal me. Not heal or change my body, but after weeks of cooking in my kitchen, how I talked about and thought about and looked at my own body changed drastically. It's like everything just settled. The waves of self-hate that had been crashing on my shore at a high tide pace went back out to sea as I stirred and chopped and roasted and waited. Love grew as I waited. What I thought I was gaining in better food and faster service by eating out and having foods delivered, I was losing all along in healing. Cooking did something to me, continues to do something to me that I can sense really matters. Even if I don't know how to do it great every time, it's a practice that is good for my soul and my body. Are you ready for your Chase the Fun challenge? All right, our Chase the Fun challenge for this week is think of your favorite thing to cook. Purchase the ingredients that you'll need and make it sometime this week for yourself or for some people that you love. All right, challenge on. And I will be very diligent about taking pictures of the things that we cook this week. All right, my friends, have a great and amazing week. Be joyful, always. Stay crafty in your own way, make your own joyful creations, and be the joy in everything you do. And be expectant for good things to happen. And hug yourself daily because you're no good to no one unless you take care of yourself first. You gotta have a strong core and foundation in order to help hold each other up. I love you. Nugs and joy. Mwah. See you next week.